What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Real Estate Podcast. Today I got a special guest. I know I said that before, but no. This guest is special. This is my oldest daughter. Her name is Brittany. That means she was the first kid that I had. I was 17 years old. And it was like, to get her on this interview, it was like trying to get Beyonce to do an interview. I'm telling y'all. So let's get right into it. So introduce yourself.
My name is Brittany Wynn. 33 years old, real estate investor. Been doing real estate about 8 years now.
So what was it like growing up with a father that was into real estate and driving you around to Home Depot and looking at houses when you was like 6 years old? What was that like?
I hated it. I hated going in Home Depot. I feel like we spent hours in there just walking around or waiting around. And I always said, like, I never do real estate. Like, this take up too much time. And then as I got older, just seeing the freedom made me change my mind.
So what would you tell younger kids now that have parents that's entrepreneurs and trying to lead them to a championship in their life? Like, what would you tell young adults?
Listen to your parents, even though they get on our nerves and think they don't know what they're talking about. Listen to your parents. Like, we ain't gonna always follow our parents' path, but our parents went through things way before us, so we can take some things and apply it to our own path and go from there.
You moved to Atlanta. How old were you when you moved to Atlanta?
18, 19.
So I was on my federal sabbatical, AKA prison, and you remember writing me a letter saying that you was gonna move to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah, write me a letter saying that she was going to move to Atlanta, and I didn't believe her. And then the next letter I got from her had an Atlanta address. And, Atlanta is like one of the party capitals of the world. And so when she reached out to me a couple of years later, after I got free, she said she was ready to buy a house. You remember that day?
Yep.
What did you say?
I said I was ready to purchase a house, like, after seeing, like, you, Brian, and Aaron, like the way y'all was moving and stuff like that, kind of motivated me to want to step into a different lane. So I used to do healthcare before I started doing real estate, and I was tired. Like, it took up a lot of my time. I used to work a lot of hours, and then I was seeing how they was moving up here in Cleveland, my younger brothers, and that was motivation for me.
So the reason why I brought up Atlanta, because, most young adults, even old adults, you can go to Atlanta and you can get in La La Land, just spending money, hanging out, and just looking rich, but really being broke. And so when she reached out to me that day saying she was ready to buy a property, I was kind of caught off guard. I was thinking that she was down there, blowing her money. I didn't think she, was down there taking care of her business or being focused. And I remember the day like yesterday. At the same time, she reached out. A guy that I used to get a bunch of properties from, he was connected with an asset management company. He sent me an opportunity, right? He sent me an opportunity, and I went and did a drive-by. As soon as I pulled up to the property, I knew it was a great deal. The property was $10,000. $10,000. So we went in half on that property, which was her first project. We didn't do any work. And we turned around and sold the property and made a 50% return on our money. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Because even get the money, I had saved up my tax returns, and I was in college, so I'm a college dropout. I said, like, we used to get them checks from school, so I used my money from school and my tax return, and I was like, I'm ready to purchase a house. And we got the house. It was 2 houses. It was a package deal. It was 2 houses in that package deal. And split the money up when we do nothing to the properties.
I forgot about that second house.
Real wholesaling, like King said.
Right. Wow, I forgot about that.
Yeah. 2 properties.
Wow. So, why did you drop out of school?
It just wasn't for me. School was never for me, but I went because it was like, okay, let's see what it's about. Like, and I feel like once you start moving in the direction, you will know if something is for you, or you'll figure out what else is out there for you. And I was going to college, and I was like, I know this is not for me. Like, I was going for nursing, and I was already in healthcare, and I knew like those hours is not something that I wanted to work. And so I was just like, I need to figure out something else. And this is my something else.
What's your favorite real estate strategy?
I like buying properties and rehabbing them, but as of lately, I would just rather purchase a home and sell it as is.
Oh, not do any repairs, just sell it as it.
Yeah.
Why?
Dealing with contractors stresses me out. But I've been blessed, like lately. My brother Brian, he's been taking on the lead. So,
how do you find most of your properties?
most of my properties I get from the sheriff's sale.
Yeah. How does that process work?
I mean, you sign up online, look at the properties, you go evaluate them, and then you bid on which ones you want.
Do you use loans to purchase your properties?
When I first started out doing real estate, well, outside of the very first deal, moving forward, I was using the credit route thing, but then after that, I just started using my own money from each deal.
Why wouldn't you use debt? Everybody say that, you should use other people's money, OPM. Why don't you use debt instead of using your cash?
I went that route, and I think it's like you really got to have a strategy for it. And I feel like when I first started with the whole credit thing, like I didn't understand it, I didn't have a strategy, so it kind of like set me back real bad, and like the debt I was in over my head. So I feel like using your own money, like I feel like you just got more control.
Okay. Is it easy to continue to have cash available to buy properties? Is it easy for you to stay focused and using your money for real estate versus using it for other things that you could use it for?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, you set a percentage of how much you want to put aside for your business and then your personal use, and it's just about discipline, like, and money management. Like, of course, I want to buy the nice things, but it's just like, why spend $5,000 or however much on this bag when I can put that toward another investment deal? So,
how many properties are you working on right now?
Working on 2 right now, probably.
2. How many you got sitting?
Probably like 8 properties sitting.
Do you think one day the people will be able to sign up for your mentorship, of course, teaching them how to buy auction properties? Because I hear it's real profitable to buy auction properties. And,
I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure. Yeah, no. I haven't really thought about it 100% yet.
So you just got a gift that you're going to keep wrapped up that you could unwrap and share with other people so they can have, the success that you have and, change their life and bank account.
I don't think it's about keeping it wrapped up. I just feel like the space I'm in right now, like with my own business, like I just need to focus on that. Like it's so easy to get distracted trying to do multiple things. So right now my focus is just like trying to build my portfolio and stuff like that. And I feel like once I get to a better system, maybe I could teach mentorship, but right now, focus on that.
I'm not really buying that. I think it's super simple. I got a recipe to be able to help you, and it's like wherever you are, you're never going to be like, okay, yeah, I'm in a place where everything is just calmed down, because life don't really life like that. Life continues to life, and I think wherever you are, people could benefit from that. People could benefit, the journey, the journey. The things that you've done to get you to this point, and especially from a female standpoint, I think that it would be real valuable. From a female standpoint, somebody that's really doing, what they talk about. Not what they talk about, because you don't talk about it unless somebody asks you. But I think that the young women could benefit from the knowledge that you have as it pertains to real estate and life. Like real estate and life. Like, how did you get, where did that come from? Because it's like you understand a lot about life and just your view of life, not just real estate. Like, where did that come from?
God. I feel like that was just a God-given thing. And then, of course, my parents, being raised right. Like, listen to you talk about like all the books you read and stuff like that. I started reading. Once I moved to Atlanta, that's kind of like when my journey like really started, and I started reading books, listening to different podcasts, started meditating and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that comes from just practice, like practicing those things and just staying at it.
Cool. Hey, make sure y'all check us out for part 2. You know we're doing a part 2, right? Thank you.